How's it going, you guys? So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the difference between ketosis and keto adaptation. So it's very important because it is very, very common for people to mistake the two. So, ketosis is simply a state your body goes into when it's not provided with enough exogenous carbohydrates. What happens is over the course of 2 to sometimes 6 or 7 days, your body starts to break down the stores of glucose it has, firstly in the blood sugar, and then to replenish the blood sugar, it breaks down the glucose in the liver and then the muscle glycogen stores. And that process takes a maximum of 1 week to get into. Generally speaking, though, within the first day, your body's already starting to increase ketone production. So your body, even while it's breaking down its glucose stores in the first couple of days of ketosis, your body will be producing more ketones from the breakdown of fat. Now, just because you're producing more ketones does not necessarily mean that you are keto adapted. It doesn't mean you're using those ketones. So in the first week of ketosis, when you first start, you'll see a lot of ketones in the urine and in the blood. And this is because you're not yet keto adapted. So your body's spilling over ketones into the urine and into the breath because it's not absorbing them yet. So after the first week of ketosis, especially if you're doing strength training or some kind of vigorous exercise, your body starts to actually absorb the ketones and burn them for fuel. And so on a blood ketone meter, after the first week, sometimes 2 weeks, you'll see elevation in blood ketones because your body is no longer spilling them over in the urine and in the breath, but your body still is not burning as much of those ketones that are in the blood. So you see an elevation in blood ketones at first. Now, to actually use those ketones, generally speaking, it'll take 2 weeks or more. On average, the average time it takes to get keto adapted is about 4 to 8 weeks for most people who have never tried a keto diet before. Now, the more you dip your body into ketosis, which is the beginning of the keto diet, the faster it'll be for your body to keto adapt. Also, the more vigorously you exercise or you have exercised before, the faster your body should be able to change energy substrates and keto adapt. And so around the 2 week mark, you'll have elevated blood ketones. But then it's not uncommon for people that have been on a ketogenic diet for more than 2 months or more than 8 weeks. Generally speaking, a lot of people, they notice their blood ketones go down, and they still are obvious. They haven't eaten carbs or anything. They're feeling even better than before. Typically, this is said to be because their body's now absorbing all of those blood ketones, and so it's kind of hit or miss as to what the most accurate way to measure ketones is. Because of this. But keto adaptation means your body is now burning ketones more effectively. And it's still burning glucose, too. A lot of people forget that because of gluconeogenesis, mostly from burning body fat, from converting body fat, the glycerol backbone and triglycerides, into glycogen based on demand rather than just randomly turning body fat into glycogen. So, what that means is, again, ketosis is the first week where your body's creating ketones. Keto adaptation is, anywhere from 2 to 4, sometimes 4 to 8 weeks. Your body begins to change its metabolic machinery towards burning fat as fuel, burning ketones in particular as fuel. So, during the first 2 weeks is when you feel the side effects. You feel low on energy, you feel a little bit depressed, you feel maybe lethargic, you might have a whole bunch of side effects. And obviously, a lot of that is because you're pissing out more sodium and water and electrolytes. So if you get the minimum 4 grams of sodium per day, which is 2 teaspoons of salt every day, typically you'll see that you don't feel sick, you don't feel as much of the same problems of keto flu, because that's largely a sodium deficiency. But the lack of energy, the lack in mood and stuff like that during the first week or two is because you're producing ketones but not burning them. And even taking MCT oil is unlikely to really help because your body can't absorb the ketones it's burning as it is. Putting more ketones into your system through MCTs, maybe because you have more ketones available, your body will try faster to adapt. I've noticed this helped me feel better. But generally, you gotta wait it out. And then after 2 weeks, you start to feel mental clarity. You start to feel like unlimited energy. You see the effortless weight loss. You probably already lost 10 pounds of water weight in the first 2 weeks. And so when you're keto adapting, you're not hungry. You can go long periods of time without food. You just feel amazing. And that's because your body is now burning its own body fat and converting it into fuel. And you have an unlimited energy supply. So you will feel complete different, like a complete shift once you're keto adapted. Obviously, diabetics and people who've been eating high carb diets and stuff for a long period of time are going to have a lot harder time getting to the keto adaptation stage. So, with that being said, that's the difference between keto adaptation and ketosis, and pretty much everything you need to know about those things. Leave your questions and comments down below. Protein will not kick you out of ketosis. Talk to y'all next time.